Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.
Welcome to Garden Care A to Z. My name is Bimray. The biggest headache in a garden is always a shade area. In established gardens, we have these beautiful big trees, but underneath, we really battle to get things to grow. So today we're going to be looking at this particular family garden and what they've done to convert their shady area into a very useful play area for a little toddler. The area under this magnificent fig tree is actually an ideal area for a playground. Remember, in summer, it creates a beautiful canopy, which creates a nice cool area for the kids to play. Then, of course, in winter, it loses its leaves, so you have beautiful dappled sun and a nice warm area for the kids to play in. So that's the ideal, best of both worlds. Now, what we did to start creating this play area, firstly, we found an old jungle gym and an old swing set, which with a lick of paint, brightly colored paint, created a really nice vibe for the kids to play on. Now, the dense shade has also caused quite a big bare patch under the trees, and we've overcome that by simply putting down a weed control fabric. Now, this will stop the weeds from coming through, and of course will stop the bark moss we've put down sinking into the soil. So dual purpose, and that works really, really nicely. We've used quite a coarse bark, and that will make it easier for the kids to walk on. And then to bring some life into the area, we've planted some brightly colored annuals. Now, in the area closer to the tree, we've brought in some annual color, and we've used begonias, impatiens, coleus, and a few pansies, really just to brighten up the area. And they'll certainly handle the light conditions underneath this tree. We've used an old wheelbarrow and an old pot, which we've painted bright red. The wheelbarrow, we had to ensure that the drainage is right. So we've drilled holes in it, we've put in some gravel, then a weed control fabric, and then a really good, well-drained potting soil. The fuchsias are, of course, the perennial aspect, which will create the anchor to these beautiful containers. So now I'd like to show you a really cost-effective way of growing your own seedlings straight from seed. Making your own seedlings from seed is actually very, very simple. I've chosen pansies, which are very small seed, and I've chosen coriander, which are slightly bigger and quite easy to plant. We're going to be using a Jiffy seed starting kit. Now, these are essentially compressed peat, either pots, seedling trays, or these little discs, which actually take the place of the growing medium. A little disc like that will swell up and will be enough to do at least 2 of these cavities. Now, little mini greenhouse, which is ideal for starting seed. I'll show you how small pansy seed are. I've got a packet here which I've already cut open. And inside, because the seed is so small, inside there's another sachet which contains the seed. So we've taken a little sachet like this, a little disc like that, soaked it in water, and it's puffed up to that. And we're going to plant our seed directly into that. So, wow, the seed is small. So we're going to put 1 or 2 seeds in a little cavity. And they're light enough so you can actually see them right on top of this growing medium. Press that down carefully, making sure that it's covered nicely. And all we have to do, cover that up, and we've created ourselves a little greenhouse. The greenhouse will make sure that we don't lose too much moisture, so your watering is reduced quite a bit. Once the seedling has established itself, it would be a very simple matter of planting the entire seedling, self-contained, right into this area where you want it to grow. Of course, you have other options as well. So, for example, with big seed like coriander, I'm very simply going to plant it into these bigger peat pots, which are also made from peat and can then be planted straight into the ground where you want it. And in this case, I'm going to be planting a number of plants because I use a lot of coriander. And the same applies to the seedling tray. Simply cut out each individual cavity and plant that directly into the soil. When the plant's about 4 weeks old, start feeding with the liquid fertilizer like Seagrow and simply apply as a foliar spray. That will ensure good, strong, healthy seedlings. I hope we've demonstrated how easy and cost-effective it can be to grow your own seedlings from seed by using a seed starter kit. Please join us again on the next Garden Care A to Z.
Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.